Okay, hello everyone. Yeah, we'll meet again in the course of semantic pragmatics. Yeah, our topic today is about argument structure. Yeah, it's not yet about pragmatics. Yeah, we'll still discuss about meaning. Yeah, meaning, but it is related with the structure. Yeah, of its meaning with the other entities or part of trees. Yeah, in that sentence. Of course, if we study about microlinguistics, we cannot take it apart, make tons of limitations, yeah, for this. We'll still relate it with another sub topics like syntax, yeah, or later on we use another relation, yeah. So first, what is argument structure, yeah? The notions of argument structure, if you can see and read, yeah, it is first contained in 1980s. Yeah, it's quite a long time ago. Yeah, by some of the researchers. Yeah, that working on the field. You can read the journals. Yeah, from Life in Pet in 2013. Yeah, you can see that research entitled argument structures. Yeah, in linguistics. Remember about semantics is remember about meaning. So if we study about argument structure here in semantics, yeah, we can see a construct susunannya ya that specifies the relation apa hubungan ya the relations that work ya between the semantics of verb in its syntactic expression. Why we talk about verb? Verb is a major in a sentence, right? Yeah, you can see here verb in the position of semantics, yeah, we can discuss about predicate, arguments, and proposition. Yeah, first, if we talk about predicate, arguments, and propositions, yeah, we will see that semantic structure of a sentence consists of at least one predicate and its argument. Apa, teman-teman? You remember? At least consists of one predicate. Karena itu syarat dari kalimat. This is the main requirement of a sentence, ya. Remember, sentence structure, but we discussed about semantic. In that sentence structure, the semantic structure of a sentence consists at least one predicate and its argument. What is the sample? Here, you can read, like in the pictures, yeah. The father hugged the son. The father here is an argument, hugged is a predicate, then the son is the argument. Back to the definition. What is argument? You can read here. And try to absorb the meaning, yeah, slowly. Argument represents the participant in an event or situation. Any participant, ya. Jadi argumen itu adalah representasi dari partisipan. Bisa apa aja teman-teman ya? It can be persons, it can be things, it can be abstract entities. Bisa. Jadi nggak hanya, sekali lagi apa? Nggak hanya orang. It is not just about person, but it can be things, it can be abstract entities. Ya. Kalau di syntax ya, it's typically expressed by non-phrase and DPs ya, but may also be expressed by CPs. Bisa. Nah, sekarang predicate itu sendiri ya apa? Tadi kan arguments. Ya, arguments is represent the participant. Jadi the father here is the argument, the son here is the argument. Nah, so kembali lagi definisinya ada dua ya, kebetulan minimal hanya satu, dua, tiga tentu boleh dong, boleh. Ya, so the argument is the participant. Ya, this is the representative of participant. Now, how about predicate? Predicate express something about the participant. Nah, jadi kalau sudah ada partisipan tadi, atau argumen itu yang mengekspresikan sesuatu tentang Participan itu disebut predicate. Predicate express, ya. Predicate express something about the participant. Usually ada apa saja? Action, property, atau mungkin karena yang dijelaskan oleh participant bisa relations among the participant. They are typically expressed by verb. Usually, remember. Tapi apakah bisa selain verb? Can be. But may also be expressed by adjective, noun, and prepositions. Nah, nanti kita akan lihat contoh-contoh. Pertama, di slide kedua ini, teman-teman, you need to understand first. Oh, the definition of argument. The definition of predicate. Predicate is is something that express the argument or the participant itself. Nah, participant tadi adalah the argument represent the participant. Partisipannya di situ siapa? Ya, father sama son. Mereka dijelaskan dengan sebuah predicate. Di sini kebetulan verb. Ya. Bisa selain verb? Bisa. Ya, bisa noun, bisa adjective, bisa preposition. Nah, a simple declarative sentence express a proposition. Ya, a proposition. Ingat, materi tentang proposition, utterance, and sentence. Nah, we will not discuss deeply in this meeting because it's already done previously in the other meetings or other videos if you watched it. And please watch it. Here we have the father, heard the son. Nah, the word heard di sini disebut apa? To place predicate. To, tapi bukan tentang predicate-nya. Walaupun ini ada to place predicate. Karena because it takes two arguments. Oh, jadi kalau membawa dua argument, predicate-nya disebut to place predicate. Bukan predicate-nya yang dua ya, remember. Tapi dia membawa dua arguments. It brings two arguments. What is that? What are they? The father and the son. Nah, jadi predicate-nya disebut to place predicate. Nah, the two arguments are needed to complete the meaning of the predicate. Nah, itu fungsinya ya, to complete the meaning. Karena tadi relative information. Ya. So, the entire sentence form a proposition which can be either true or false. Nah, ini tentang kebenaran ya. Jadi whether this is true or false itu di luar itu nanti ya secara makna. Sekarang we will discuss about the relations among this predicate and argument. Nah, this one ya, it's predicate. Kita konsentrasi ke predicate dan argument dulu ya. It's predicate selects a certain number of arguments. Ya. Here, the arguments ini sudah diberikan contoh. The arguments are in brackets and the predicates are in the boldface ya, the red one. One place predicate, remember, ingat-ingat tadi, bukan predicate-nya yang satu, tapi dia membawa satu argument. Henry smile. Predicate-nya smile, tetapi dia membawa argument satu, yaitu Henry. To place predicate, predicate-nya mana? And investigated. Investigated itu satu, tapi disebut to place predicate because it carries two arguments. What are they? The police and the allegation. Then next we have three place predicates. What are they? The predicate is give and the predicate brings three arguments. Sarah, John, and a gift. Okay, you understand? You can post the videos whenever you want and try to revoke the understanding, or you can elaborate and read the other references after this explanations, Feel free to do that. Okay, then we have another explanations about predicate. Tadi sudah ada one place predicate, two place predicate, three place predicate. Di sini kita jabarkan, ya. Predicates can be syntactically realized. Nah, kalau secara sintaks susunan dalam kalimat itu bisa diidentifikasi. We can identify this predicate as the part of speech. Posisinya part of speech apa? Mostly ya, usually verb, tapi tidak semua harus verb. Ya, verb, adjectives, this one, nouns and preposition. Nah, untuk memahami contoh-contoh, teman-teman tuh harus flashback ke slide-slide sebelumnya tadi ya. Remember, you need to understand about the definitions of arguments and predicate here. Argument represent the participant in an event or situation, and a predicate express something about participant. Kan di sini we got 4 samples ya. First, you know Lionel Messi ya, a football player ya. Messi kicked the ball. Remember, kicked is the predicate ya, the bold one, the red one. Nah, ini to place predicate karena apa tadi teman-teman? Bring two arguments yaitu Messi and the ball. Di sini kicked predicate-nya ini fungsinya part of speech-nya apa? Verb. Adakah yang lain? Do we have other part of speech of predicate instead of verb? Ada. Contohnya di kalimat berikutnya. The next sample. Messi is short. Ya, Messi is the participant. Nah, partisipannya ngapain? Dijelaskan. Short. Kan tidak ada hubungan hanya action saja tadi. It is not just about action, but it can be about another one, the relation, the condition, ya, bisa aja short. So, Messi is short. Predicate here, one place predicate, tapi posisinya yang predicate sebagai apa? As an adjective. Ya, the other one we can see Messi is in the kitchen. In the kitchen. Nah, di situ kan ada arguments Messi dan in the kitchen. Remember, arguments tadi tidak harus orang, bisa event, ya situation, or abstract things ya. Jadi Messi the kitchen, menandakan apa? Posisinya, keterangannya. Jadi bisa jadi preposition. Ya, process of the predicate can also be prepositions. The last one, Messi is a star. Messi is an argument. What is the predicate? Star. Star di sini contoh, the star is a sample of predicate which has a part of speech of noun. Everyone, ya, correct? Ya, ini contoh-contohnya. So, note, remember that the verb be in the both sentences is not semantic predicate. Karena be itu hanya sebagai tense marking. Itu ya, teman-teman. Jadi itu di luar sebagai predicate. Kalau kita membahas argument ya, di sini dalam semantik. Oke. Nah, to see about ini ya, argument structure, we see about predicate arguments. Nah, kenapa argument itu berperan penting? Karena arguments itu mempunyai peran semantic roles of argument, namanya argument roles. Di reference lain, in other references, we can hear or read it as semantic roles, kadang disebut gitu, kadang disebut apa? Thematic roles, kadang disebut theta roles ya. Don't get confused about it. That's the other name ya. The role that an argument perform the actions or relations that predicate describe. Jadi predicate kan sudah ada ya. Tadi kita sudah pelajari one place predicate, two place predicate, three place predicate, lalu kelas katanya apa saja. Sekarang yang berhubungan dengan predicate itu kan argument. Argument bisa 1, 2, 3, 4. Can be 1, 2, 3, and so on. Nah, the arguments can also have roles. Ya, kita breakdown. We will have kinds of classification or categorizations of arguments ya. Jadi arguments itu ada macam-macamnya teman-teman ya. You can see argument here from the sample. Ya, kita ganti Messi, we change into Ronaldo. Ronaldo kicked the ball. Kick is the predicate. Then argument we have Ronaldo and the ball. Nah, ini jenisnya apa saja? Nah, from the semantics references, we can see that Ronaldo, the argument, is the agent. Oh, ada ya yang namanya agent dalam argumen. Jadi argumen, jenis-jenis argumennya adalah agent. Apa itu agent? Jane, di sini Ronaldo ya. Ronaldo is the agent of kicking the ball, gitu ya, because she is the doer. Jadi kalau the doer of the actions denote by the predicate itu disebut it's called by agent. Ya, an agent is a human or animal which intends to perform the action. Nah, the ball ya, mohon maaf itu the ball ya, bukan the soccer ball karena if you are British you hate this because football is different with soccer ya. Okay, back to this topic. The ball is the patient because it's the undergoer of the action. Jadi kalau argumen yang doer itu agent, kalau undergoer itu yang disebut sebagai patient. Remember dari setelah argumen predikat, kita argumen rule sudah punya dua pengertian ini. Oh, ada yang agent, ada yang patient ya. Okay. Traditionally, argument rules are said to be selected by the verb and specified in the lexical entry. Ya. Oke, yang lainnya setelah ada agent and patient, we will see goal and theme. Get the definition. Goal, the location. Remember, the location or entity in the direction of which something moves. Harus ada movement. Jadi ada goal. Location or entity in the directions of which something moves. Kalau theme, the entity moved or manipulated by the action. Nah, kalau yang termanipulasi atau disebabkan dan sebagainya jadi bergerak, jadi berpindah, jadi ada action, itu disebut theme. Contohnya, kita punya kalimat ini ya. We have these sentences. Leslie sent a package to John. A package arrived. A package was shipped to John. Ada 3 kalimat ya. Diperkaya ini contohnya. Di sini kita lihat. Leslie. Leslie adalah agent tadi ya. Doer. Nah, sekarang John atau package itu bukan ini teman-teman. This is not the patient. Karena patient definisinya apa? The patient undergoer the action. Padahal dia tidak undergoer. Tapi dia kalau package itu dia the entity move yang dipindahkan kan. Paket itu kan yang dipindahkan, moved or manipulated by the action. Jadi package is theme. Kalau John itu adalah the location or entity in the direction of which something moves. Jadi John adalah goal. Ya, diubah apapun, package arrive, package tentu argumen rule-nya tetap the entity moved or manipulated. Karena walaupun itu posisinya sebagai pasif. Jadi a package here is the theme. A package was shipped to John. Package is a theme. Was shipped, tentu saja ship tadi we talk about predicate to John. Kepada siapa? John. John tetap menjadi goal. So, after we talk about the agent, the patient, we have the goal and the theme. Nah, arguments ada apa? Lebih dari 4 ya. Ada lagi because we are rich ya in a variety of the sentence making ya. We have proposition and the execution for the sentences are abundant, many. Nah, the other one, we got the definition here. Please read together. Experiencer and stimulus. What is experiencer? Experiencer, living entity that experience a sensation, emotion, or cognitive state. Yeah, that is experiencer. And then the stimulus, the entity that is the source of or cause, penyebabnya ini atau sumbernya, of a particular sensation, emotion, or cognitive state. Jadi tadi adalah the output, living entity, experiencer, sensation, emotion, cognitive, sumbernya, the source, the cause is stimulus. Okay, let's see these sentences. Paul enjoys classical music. Paul ya enjoys classical music. Paul itu yang orangnya, ya, the living entity that experiences a sensation from music, from the classical music. Sehingga yang menyebabkan orang menikmati, mengenjoy sensasi musik adalah stimulusnya, yaitu classical music. So the classical music semantic argument roles here is stimulus. Paul is the experiencer, orang yang mengalaminya. Nah, beda. Walaupun sama-sama orang, cek ya. Paul is experiencer. Beda dengan contoh yang Leslie tadi. Apakah Leslie experiencer? Beda. Karena argument rules. Karena ini berhubungan dengan makna, meaning, the position in the sentence. Ya. Beda juga dengan Jane atau Ronaldo di sini. Ronaldo agent, sama-sama noun, sama-sama di subjek, tapi Ronaldo can be the agent, Leslie, this is noun, this is subject, can be the Leslie, ya, can be the agent, ya. Here, Paul can be the experiences, ya. Paul is afraid of spider, ya. Spiders frighten Paul. Jadi Paul experiences yang membuat takut, yang membuat mengalami sensasi itu apa? Spider. Jadi ya karena predikatnya adalah enjoy, predikatnya adalah frighten. Misalnya predikatnya nih happy dan sebagainya, you can create sensation, emotion, or cognitive state. Nah, itulah yang kita diminta. We are forced to have critical thinking related with the meaning, makna. Ini sudah bukan lagi surface structure, but already deep structure. Ya, teman-teman. So please mind about it. Makna, posisi makna dalam sebuah kalimat, argument rules, ya, thematic rules, semantic rules. Okay, we got another one, instrument and cause. Instrument and cause. What is instrument? Something an agent used to cause something to happen. Something an agent used to cause something to happen. Yang digunakan, yang mirip dari literal meaningnya ya, alatnya kan. Something an agent used to cause something to happen. Then what about cause? Cause is something that unintentionally cause something to happen. Let's see those sentences ya, tentang kunci, key and door. Someone opened the door. Someone open tentu saja ya, predicate open, dan someone open. This is the agent. The door is the theme karena dia tadi di sini kan theme. The entity moved or manipulated by the agent. Nah, sekarang kalau instrumennya yang mana? Nah, di contoh kedua ini, the key opened the door. Nah, karena the key adalah alatnya. Something, an agent used to cause something to happen. Jadi the key open the door. Dari makna ini ya, bukan susunan sintaksnya, tapi semantiknya. Ya, jadi instrumen. The key is the instrument. Open the door. The door is the theme. The wind open the door. The wind is the cause. Nah, beda dengan instrumen. Kalau instrumen tadi alatnya, kalau the wind itu adalah bedanya di level intentionally and unintentionally, tidak sengaja, alamiah. Jadi the wind open the door. Kalau the door open saja, ya the door, the theme tetap. Hanya one predicate ya ini ya, one place predicate. Okay, you got 8, ya, many, ya. You can get a flashback from the predicate and arguments. Then arguments are divided into the agent, the passions, the goal, the theme, the experiencer, the stimulus, the instrument, the cause. Nah, so you need to practice it at home, ya. No need to submit it, ya. No need to submit it. This is not the SM. We will discuss in the next meeting, ya. We'll have a Zoom for this. Identify the predicate, the arguments, and the argument rule of each argument. Jadi predicate, kalau nemu argument, argumennya di breakdown. You need to break down the arguments, whether this is the agent, passion, theme, goal, and experiencer, or so on. Ya, 1 till 10. Coba, you need to try it. I believe in you, ya. You can do, you can understand by reading and also by analyzing this. Jadi jangan sampai tidak melakukan analisis. You can have the better understanding if you do the analysis. Okay? You can do chain sound and to which one is the predicate, which one is the argument. If the arguments, you need to break down into those 8 types of categorizations of arguments. Okay, we will discuss it next week. Yeah, soon. You can ask questions to me personally through the WhatsApp or directly to the synchronous meetings. Okay, happy learning everyone. Enjoy. Yeah, please have reading time. It's important. Goodbye.